and welcome to Ohio Valley Couponer. When you guys are seeing this video, it is going to be Saturday, February the 17th of 2024, and I'm coming at you guys with another coupon chat video, and boy, oh boy, do we have a pretty intense topic to be discussing today. So I know a lot of you guys are on this channel because of Kroger. Kroger is hands down probably my favorite store to coupon at. I have gotten so many of my deals at Kroger over the years. I love Kroger and I love how they do their sales. I love their coupons, all the things. And so you guys may have saw that title and the thumbnail and all that where it says the end of Kroger couponing ? And it is a question mark. Nothing's set in stone. This hasn't even been approved yet, but Kroger is in full force trying to pursue this merger that would very, very much change up their day-to-day operations and how they do things because of the increase in company size and basically the market share Kroger would have from this merger. And so that would definitely change how Kroger couponing works because, you know, having more market share, having more of a monopoly over the grocery business, that is going to change how they do things because they're not going to need to work as hard to get people in the doors because there's not as many options to choose from. So we're going to be talking about this in this video. We're going to be diving deep into this. I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts. Of course, I want to hear your thoughts down below. So let me know what you guys think as you're watching this video. But yeah, let's just dive right on into this. So basically, here is what is trying to be done by Kroger, if you guys are not aware. So in 2022, Kroger had announced that they were looking to acquire Albertsons. They wanted to purchase the Albertsons company, their portfolio of grocery stores. Albertsons owns an absolute ton of grocery stores. It is not just Albertsons. They actually have over 2,200 stores in 34 states and the District of Columbia. Many of these stores you guys are familiar with because you probably have them in your area. Of course, this will include Albertsons, but it'll also include chains like Safeway, Vons, Jewel Osco, Acme, Shaw's, Pavilion, some big chains of grocery stores here that are owned by Albertsons. Kroger would now own all of this. Like, it would all be owned by Kroger. Which some of you guys, if you don't have a Kroger and you've wanted a Kroger, this might sound appealing, but especially to those of you who have both stores. I have a lot of you guys who have, you know, a Kroger-owned store and an Albertsons-owned store in your area. You love doing the deals at both stores, kind of cherry-picking the best deals. So the thought of these being owned by the same chain, you know, will cut down on how many deals you'll be able to get because you're not cherry-picking at both stores anymore. You're just going to have more owned by the same company. It is pretty wild how much this deal would increase Kroger's market share. Like right now, there are hardly any stores in the East Coast with Kroger at all, with the exception of Harris Teeter in Virginia. But seriously, this would put Kroger in areas where there's never been a Kroger. So like Pennsylvania, I get a lot of people commenting saying you don't have Kroger in Pennsylvania. This would take over Acme in Pennsylvania. With Shaw's, I know Shaw's is a store in Massachusetts and Maine. It would be Kroger there now. I mean, it would still have the Shaw's name, but it would be owned by Kroger and operated by Kroger. So this restores in areas where there's never been a Kroger. So to some of you guys who don't have a Kroger, that would be really appealing, especially if Kroger continues doing the same sales and everything like that. However, with more market share brings less need to compete with other stores. Some of these cities, maybe you just have a Kroger-owned store and an Albertsons-owned store. With the Albertsons-owned store now being owned by Kroger, literally they would be the ones that have the only grocery store in town, and that would create, you know, no competition virtually, and that could be really, really bad for business. So I feel like the ones who are going to be affected the most at first are going to be those who had both an Albertsons-owned store and a Kroger-owned store. But ultimately, even if you don't have an Albertsons-owned store in your area, this merger with Albertsons, I feel like it could put Kroger on more of a level like Walmart. Kroger already is pledging that they're going to lower the prices in their stores. So is this going to turn into a thing where they no longer do sales every week? That they're just going to have like the everyday low price like Walmart? I don't know. But with having that much more market share and not having as much need for competition, could they change their base to be like that? You know, it's a possibility. It's a possibility for sure. There's a lot of pushback on this. There are people who share the same concerns I do that this would not be good for business, that we would just end up paying higher prices, including the Washington State Attorney General who is suing to try to stop this. So the Washington State Attorney General said shoppers will have fewer choices and less competition. And without a competitive marketplace, they'll pay higher prices at the grocery store. That's not right. And I totally agree with that. Kroger is continually explaining how this is not going to happen, and they're saying, we believe the way to be America's best grocer is to provide great value by consistently lowering prices and offering more choices. We know this model because we've been doing it successfully for many years, and that is exactly what this merger will bring customers: lower prices and more fresh, affordable choices. So Kroger is basically saying with more market share, they're going to be able to lower the prices even more and offer better choices. So, I mean, in theory, that sounds good. And maybe nothing will change for Kroger except for good. Maybe we'll see better sales and lower prices. I mean, that would be great if that does happen. But myself and a lot of others are, kind of sharing the concern that they won't have to be as competitive if they have all this market share and more of a monopoly in some areas, which, that's kind of something that could take place too. It's going to be extremely interesting to see how this plays out, if it even gets approved. They were wanting it completed by early 2024, but now federal regulations are slowing it down, and they're hoping for late August of 2024. It's going to be really interesting to see how this works out. But I mean, even for nothing else, I feel like for people who have both stores in your area, like even if Kroger doesn't change anything with couponing and the sales are just the same or whatever, people who had both stores, that's a loss, and that's less options and less deals to kind of cherry pick from each week. And also for jobs, I mean, a lot of these stores likely will be closed down, especially if you had a Kroger and an Albertsons store super close. A lot of them will probably shut down and people will lose jobs, which is never good. They are saying that they are going to be selling off some stores to another grocery store chain called C&S Warehouse, sell off more than 400 stores. So they're talking about that as well. So I'm not sure how this is all going to play out. It's a very, very interesting thing for sure. I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping what Kroger is saying does actually work out, that they really will lower prices and that the sales maybe will be even better. I'm really hoping they don't just switch to an everyday low price kind of deal, because as a lot of you guys probably know, everyday low prices typically are not the lowest prices compared to getting things on crazy rock bottom sales. So I really hope that Kroger, even if this deal does end up going through, I hope that they stay true to their mega sales and the good sales and stuff like that. They do the digital deals. I hope they stay true to those things and hopefully make them even cheaper, like they're saying they can do. So I'm hopeful that this is all going to be a good thing, but it could go one of two ways. There's a bunch of different things they could do. So anyways, guys, that's all I have for this video. I really hope you all did enjoy. I want to know you guys' thoughts down below, and thank you so much for watching.